is going to double up. And Vandenberg's been having some decent results.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg Gerwyn to throw first. Game on!
On the European Tour stage, seeing off the old school really in his last 3 matches. That win against Mervyn King yesterday came after victories against Andy Hamilton and Alan Norris in Saarbrücken.
121.
Gerwyn Price has still got this fine record of not having lost 2 matches in a row though in 2017.
25.
But as he didn't win the last tournament, we know that he lost his last match. If he's going to keep that up, he'll be sailing through to the next round, and this is not a bad way to start.
140.
But I was delving through Dimitri Vandenberg's recent record, and there's just an awful
60.
lot of it.
Yes, he plays a lot of darts.
Yeah, I don't think there's another player that has probably played as many matches as Dimitri this year.
Well, the success that he's having on the development tour means he's playing a lot of games.
140.
And another ton 40 for Gerwyn Price leaves him on a potential 11 darter. But he's also playing all the senior tour. He's qualifying for Euro events like this.
58.
I looked through it all and I found 1 weekend since the beginning of February when the season started that Dimitri Vandenberg hasn't been playing darts on either the Pro Tour or Development Tour.
Tops.
80.
Nearly a 12 darter, but Dimitri's 338 points behind.
Yeah.
1 weekend where he hasn't played, I beg your pardon, any darts at all.
96.
1 weekend since the start of the season in February.
Game shown the first leg.
Well, a
Gerwyn
strong start
second
from
leg,
Gerwyn
Dimitri
Price.
to throw first. Game
It
on.
is. The Iceman goes out on 20 with Vandenberg left on 262, which is ironic because it's 262nd game that he's played this year.
85.
Is that ironic?
That's not a fact.
That's not
fake news.
It's fake news from Chris Murphy. Well, Dimitri Vandenberg has met
140.
Gerwyn Price on 5 occasions in the past. I mean, you would think with the amount of darts he's playing, he's met everybody at least 5 times.
38.
And they've all been within the last year. And until the last Euro Tour event in Saarbrücken, it was 2 apiece. And Dimitri had won the 2 big ones, the ones on big stages. Beat him at the Grand Slam of Darts in the group stages and beat him in the Players' Championship final. Gerwyn had won a couple of games in Barnsley on the Pro Tour. But then he got his first big stage win over the young Belgian at the German Darts Open in Saarbrücken, a tournament where he did play very well. Once again, Gerwyn Price. In very good form this year.
Well, the winner will go on to take on Benito van der Pas, who somehow found a way through against Joe Mernon earlier on.
His second favourite for a little while there against Joe Mernon. But came through it in a deciding leg. Comeback victory for Benito van der Pas. Did have to survive. That one falling out the board doesn't help Gerwyn. Yeah, did have to survive a match dart from Joe Mernon earlier on, Benito.
Price now poised.
99.
The last dart has helped Vandenberg somewhat, but he may be powerless to stop Price.
62.
That one does stick in the 25, which means Gerwyn Price should get 2 darts at tops if he's allowed back to the board. Big if right now, though.
Game shown the second leg.
And indeed he isn't.
Vandenberg.
96
Third leg
checkout
Gerwyn
from
to
Dimitri
throw first.
Vandenberg is good enough to level this game at 1 apiece. But Gerwyn Price scored very well on his throw in the first leg.
77.
And that trend is continuing.
Well, now we're only a couple of legs in, but Gerwyn Price is
40.
miles ahead in terms of performance level, in terms of the averages.
140.
He's currently in Jan Dekker territory.
He is.
About the 108, which is what Jan Dekker averaged yesterday in his opening round win. And he followed that up with victory over Alan Norris, former winner on the Euro Tour. So Jan Dekker, who's finishing this weekend, by the way, has been astounding. 66% yesterday, 75% today, including a 160 checkout. Gerwyn Price was on an 11-darter in the first leg. He is on an 11-darter in this leg.
The 140 from Dimitri has left him with a chance, and he's going to get that chance. Only needs one treble in this combination to get himself a dart at the bullseye, and it looks like he can follow that underneath and take aim at the bull.
105.
Through those three quite rapidly for Dimitri. He does tend to take his time, particularly on the big shots, but no extra time taken by Gerwyn Price in hitting double top. And it is 3 holes of throw that we've had so far.
Yeah, it's moving along nicely, this one. Dimitri's starting to up his game in the last couple of minutes. Price is some story. We were talking earlier on about instant impacts when we had Rob Cross on the stage. But Gerwyn Price
98.
only went to Q School back in 2014, encouraged by Barry Bates to do so, and I've heard you describe it, Dan, before as kind of textbook, his move up. In 2015 he made the top 64 for the first time. Last year he made the top 32 for the first time with the aid of a couple of Pro Tour titles. His aim this year is to reach a top 16. Well, he's well placed. He's only £14,500 behind Simon Whitlock in that 16th spot. Gerwyn Price is 17th.
And we know what's happened to Simon Whitlock this weekend.
Yeah, no ranking prize money being added to his haul. Now then, bull. Well, he went for it. Didn't have to.
Maybe shouldn't have. There's an argument, because Gerwyn Price is probably... Oh,
85.
that's a killer.
You require 25.
Single 20 would have left him on a finish. The 5 doesn't. So Dimitri, he's got a couple of visits. And he's going to need them. Had he not gone for the bull, he would have had 3 clear darts. It's a double of his choosing.
And had Price not had that slip, well, he wouldn't have been firing at a double in the end. But he's set this one up nicely, and this time Van der Bergh's under pressure to take this out. Double 8 for Dimitri. Bill getting closer, edging nearer.
8 score.
But that one's further away.
Well, the bullseye, whether you go for it or not, pretty much irrelevant. He's had 5 darts for this leg, Dimitri van den Bergh, and Gerwyn Price takes out double 10. It is the first break of throw we've had, and that is more about the mistakes from the young Belgian than the brilliance of the number 9 seed and a man closing in on the top 16 in the world.
97.
They're looking to make more ground up.
Could do it this weekend. £25,000 to the winner of this tournament. And Gerwyn Price had darts to beat Peter Wright when he went and claimed the first Euro Tour title of the year. Arguably, you could say Gerwyn Price was the best player that weekend. In the end, Peter Wright ended up winning the whole tournament. It was a lacklustre final with Michael Wentworth.
I mentioned how recently he's joined the professional dart circuit. He only kind of discovered his darting talent playing socially with his rugby pals.
Yeah, I don't know.
96.
We saw Johnny Clayton early on, another former rugby player from Wales, and his rugby mates gave him the nickname the Ferret. Now, I don't know if it's a reflection of Johnny Clayton's popularity amongst his rugby team compared to Gerwyn Price's, where all his mates have called him the Iceman.
27.
But it seems like Johnny Clayton's got the short straw.
Pardon the pun. Double top for Gerwyn Price.
71.
Well, no damage done in the miss, because Van den Bergh cannot go out.
140.
Actually led to believe most of his mates call him Gezzy.
Game shot in the 5th leg.
And Gezzy gets the double 10.
Dimitri to throw first. Game on.
Well, it's been tops and tens for Gerwyn Price right the way through so far in establishing this 4-1 lead.
58.
And Dimitri van den Bergh, having seen off a former champion at this tournament in his opening round win, beating Mervyn King 6-4, is finding Gerwyn Price a little bit too hot to handle right now.
Look at this. From the Belgian, brilliant stuff.
First maximum of this game. So a 177 from Gerwyn Price earlier on. And there have been a few 140s from the Welshman. That 140 keeps him right in the hunt in this leg.
It does, and if there had been I wouldn't even say a criticism, just an observation of Dimitri van den Bergh, it's perhaps that he often has a decent Friday game on a European Tour event and then he's unable to follow it up.
96.
Well, he did follow it up last time out, didn't he, knocking out Alan Norris.
But even then, he wasn't happy with his performance. Norris had a very lacklustre display. But look at this, double 16.
91.
Not having much fun on that area of the board, Dimitri van den Bergh. Missed 5 darts at double 8 earlier on. Treble 18 for Gerwyn Price gives him a dart at bullseye. Not going to get that.
90.
Well, he's left double 16, Gerwyn Price.
Well, last time van den Bergh was trying to hold his throw, he missed 3 darts from here as well, but that doesn't happen this time. And he's back within 2 legs.
Well, even against Mervyn King in the first round, he had a spell in the middle of the game where he did miss a whole bunch of doubles. And he turned it around later on and started finishing very well to claim the last couple of legs. He needs, or will hope, that that dart there is the start of a renaissance in terms of his finishing in this game, but he doesn't have much room for error. Because Gerwyn Price averaging in the mid to high 90s, hitting 50% of his doubles. It's kind of what you expect from a guy in his position in the world rankings. That's a solid game of darts. Capable of throwing better, we've seen that. 100. Certainly capable of a ton plus average and finishing even more dangerously. Yeah, 97. Can certainly score a bit heavier, Gerwyn Price. Ooh, look at that. Bit of aggression from the Iceman. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, van den Bergh is still only 22, but he's ranked just inside the top 50 in the world. All these players that he's been beating lately have been higher ranked opponents. And this
85
was always going to be hard for him. We know that he's not playing his best darts. But it would be a scalp, wouldn't it, to beat Gerwyn Price for Dimitri?
Yeah, I think he's a scalp for most players nowadays.
Going to require 120.
Lovely looking dart, single 20 for tops. The Iceman, top of the shop.
Game shot and
there it is, textbook stuff. 5-2. Dimitri is now forced to win the last 4 legs on the spin, and he has not looked likely to do that against a man currently averaging almost 98. However, things can change in this strange old game.
81.
Things do change. There would have been times in that first match between Wade and Webster when you wouldn't have thought that Mark would have had an opportunity to go out and get that one done.
34.
In fact, when it looked like he'd thrown in the towel, he threw his best darts just after, didn't he? As you've seen and mentioned before, Danny's done on the Pro Tour events as well.
Yeah, it's curious experience watching Mark Webster play nowadays, but it's been an exciting one this weekend.
31.
No lack of drama in the Webby games. Oh, Gerwyn Price would love his first 180 of the match here. He would love it. I told you he would. Look at the celebration. 180 to leave 140 for the match. Dimitri van den Bergh looking at 136. Gerwyn Price has made a habit of taking out some big finishers at crucial times. Took out a 160 in the quarterfinals of the UK Open on his way to his first major TV final. But he will not take out the 140. A level ton is what he's searching for, and he's desperately trying to find that treble 20.
40.
That's unfortunate.
Dimitri,
A loose start on the last visit as well from van den Bergh. Pressured by Gerwyn Price. Should have 3 darts at double. We'll only have 2.
Game
But
shot
only
in
needs
the
1.
8th leg. Dimitri van den Bergh, 9th leg, going to throw first.
Again.
140.
Not quite.
Well, he has been very solid on his own throw as Gerwyn Price. Dimitri has not been able to break him, but he's going to have to break him here and in a last leg decider if he is going to win this match. But kicking off ton 40 in this leg, Gerwyn Price.
60.
Only a 60 to follow, but it's still 100 points clear. You fancy he may get at least 1 dart for the match in this leg, but Dimitri could change that. Oh, has he Robin Hooded himself? He has. What a time for that to happen.
Bit of bad luck indeed for Dimitri van den Bergh.
83.
Destined for a maximum, having to repair his equipment as well. Not sure if it's a flight or the stem that's been pierced.
Yeah, looks like the stem that's had to be unscrewed from the barrel, so digging out another one. And look, I mean, I know some people are going, well, why didn't you play? It won't be much damage to it, but the thing is, if that happens again and costs him another 60 points, it could be the difference between winning and losing a leg, and that could be the difference between winning and losing the match. Well, it will be, because he loses 1 more leg. He is out of the tournament. 25 grand at stake. You want to make sure you've got everything sorted properly.
41.
But unfortunately, maybe he could have done with taking a little bit more time there to compose himself. He does feel the pressure when you've made people wait like that. You've got a big crowd baying for some action.
58.
Yeah, and then rush to the hockey quicker than he normally does. This time,
That's a little bit better, I think.
yeah, it's how we usually see him approach the hockey. But he needs to find a treble to leave himself a shot.
60.
And he is unable to do so. And it's that 160. You know the one. The one that he's not going to take out. But he's going to hit a ton 40. He's got the next best prize, which is 3 match darts at double 10 for a 6-3 win and a place in the second round to face Benito van der Pas. 2 of the 4 men on the European Tour this year. Jelle Klaassen, who has been spectacular on the last 3 European Tours, and Gerwyn Price, who has been solid right the way through this season. Those 2 will face off for a place in the quarterfinals if he pins double 10. Which he does. Gerwyn Price, the Welshman, joins